Hare Krishna. Can everybody turn to page 67 in the songbook? Thank you all for waiting patiently for me. Sorry I was running a little late. I didn't realize that time had already gone by. So, welcome to the Sunday program at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. And today we will start with a small invocation from the blessings of the Vaishnava Acharyas. This is a song by Thakur Bhaktivinoda. He's one of the Acharyas in the lineage you can see over there. So we will seek the blessings of the previous Acharyas. This song goes as follows. Ohe Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Ohe Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Diyapada Chaya Shodohe Amaya Diyapada Chaya Shodohe Amaya Tomara Charana Dhori Tomara Charana Dhori Ohe Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Chaya Vega Domi Chaya Dosha Shodhi Chaya Guna Deho Dase Chaya Vega Domi Dosha Shodhi Guna Deho Dase Chaya Sat Sangha Deho He Amare Chaya Sat Sangha Deho he amare bosechi sangera asa Ohe Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Ekaki ama nahi paya bala Harinam Sankirtane Ekaki ama nahi paya bala Harinam Sankirtane Tumi kripa kori Shraddha bindu diya Tumi kripa kori Shraddha bindu diya Deho Krishna Nama Dhane Ohe Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Krishna se tomar Krishna dite par tomar shakti ache Krishna dite par tomar shakti ache Ami to kangal Krishna Krishna bole Ami to kangal Krishna Krishna bole Dhai tab pache pache Ohe Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha, Lakshmi Nrsimha, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय युगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. Can somebody would like to read the English translation of this? You can take turns. There's a mic. There's a mic over here. Yeah. Is it on?
It is. O Venerable Vaishnav Thakur, O Ocean of Mercy, be merciful to this servant of yours and purify me with the shade of your lotus feet. Your lotus feet I humbly hold. You want me to read it all or take turns?
You can read the next.
By helping me control the 6 urges and purifying me of the 6 faults, bestow upon your servant the 6 good qualities. O Master, please give me the 6 kinds of holy association. I have sat down here hoping to have your company. Do you want me to read the 6?
You can read them.
Alone, I do not find the strength to chant the holy name of Hari. Please be merciful, and blessing me with a drop of faith, bestow on me the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is yours, and you can give him to me, for such is your power. This wretch is simply running behind you, crying out, Krishna, Krishna.
Thank you. So, Would you like to read the 6 urges? And the 6.
The 6 urges are those of speech, the mind, anger, the tongue, the belly, and the genitals. The 6 faults are overeating or collecting more materially valuable things than required, over-endeavoring for material objectives, unnecessary talking of mundane affairs, being too much attached to scriptural rules and regulations, or too neglectful of them, associating with worldly-minded persons, and desiring mundane achievements. The 6 good qualities are enthusiasm, confidence, patience, performing the regulated activities of devotional service, giving up the association of non-devotees, and following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. The 6 activities of holy association are offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasadam, spiritual food, from others and offering prasadam to others.
Thank you. So, over the past few weeks, there have been some interesting discussions going on the subject of karma, how it acts upon us, and how we should conduct ourselves so that we don't get implicated with good or bad results, and clear our way on the way back to Godhead. So today I would like to elaborate on that a little bit more so that we are clear on how we should conduct ourselves. So the topic that I thought we would discuss is from the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 53, 54, and 55, where the Lord talks about the necessity of absolute surrender to Him. So, because where Srila Prabhupada very nicely brings out the point about being actively engaged in Krishna's service. Krishna says himself, Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjita, that he is urging us to behave or conduct ourselves so that it is to our ultimate benefit. Sometimes people have this conception that either I'm doing everything and I'm responsible for all my results, or sometimes there's another extreme that I can't do anything, there's nothing in my control, everything is predetermined or destiny or things like that, right? So how do we find the balance, and how do we know how we should act and conduct ourselves, right? Because anybody can say that I'm doing and this is what I think is the right thing to do, right? But what is the standard for judging, or what is the common standard of social and moral conduct, right? So these are all things little elaborately we need to understand them and spend time on it so that we can understand what is asked of us to do, right? All these instructions in the Bhagavad Gita are for people like us, right? And we have assembled here to discuss on these topics. And so as we go through the purports, I will maybe I'll stop and elaborate on a few things which I felt is maybe we can take advantage of. So everybody can repeat after me. Verse number 53. Naham Vedair Na Tapasa Na Danena Na Cha Ijjaya Shakya Evam Vidho Drashtum Drashtavan Asi Mam Yatha Naham Vedair Na Tapasa Na Danena Na Cha Ijjaya Shakyam evam vidho drashtum drashtavanasi mam yatha naham vedairna tapasa na danena na chaijjaya shakya evam vidho drashtum drashtavanasi mam yatha. Would anybody like to read the shloka? Yes.
The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am.
Oh, this is chapter 11, text 53, page number 601.
532.
Okay, different books have.
532 in that book.
Chapter 11, text 53. Anybody would like to read the Sanskrit? Can you give her the mic? For everyone else.
Nahum Vedarna tapasa nadanena na chejayam shakyam eva vidam drashtum drishtva nasimam yatha.
So, this is the shloka. We will read the purport in a little bit, but I'll just give you a little background about what had happened thus far. Is that Arjuna was desirous of knowing the different forms in which he could think about Krishna, meditate upon Krishna. And so he had asked permission to see his divine forms. So the Lord said that, my mystic opulences are not easy to understand, so I would need to give you divine intelligence and divine vision for you to see my divine forms. And then he sees the universal form, Vishvarupa, which was a little disturbing for him. And then he prays to Krishna again that please show me your original form, which is very pleasing and very attractive. And then Krishna shows him his 400 Vishnu form, and then he shows himself as his Shyamsundar 200 form. And then this is the message that Krishna gives, that the form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. Right? So, anybody would like to read the purport? Would you like to read the purport? Can you read into the mic?
Now the book is different. So what is the page number?
It's chapter 11, text 53. Can you find that?
Yeah.
Don't go by the page number.
Okay. Purport?
Yes.
Krishna first appeared before his parents Devaki and Vasudeva in a four-handed form, and then he transformed himself into the two-handed form. This mystery is very difficult to understand for those who are atheists or who are devoid of devotional service. For scholars who have simply studied Vedic literature by way of grammatical knowledge or mere academic qualifications, Krishna is not possible to understand. Nor is he to be understood by persons who officially go to the temple to offer worship. They make their visit, but they cannot understand Krishna as he is. Krishna can be understood only through the path of devotional service, as explained by Krishna himself in the next verse.
Okay. So this is for us, right? Let's read the next verse also. Bhaktya tu ananyena
Ananyaya
shakya aham evam vidho Arjuna gyatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa bhaktya tvananyaya shakya aham evam vidho Arjuna gyatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Anybody would like to read the Sanskrit? Give it the mic.
Bhaktya tu ananya shakya aham evam vidho Arjuna jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa.
Anybody else?
Bhaktya ananyaya shakya aham evam vidorjana jnatam drashtum cha tatvena praveshtam cha parantapa.
Would you like to read the English translation?
Okay. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding.
Thank you. So this is the purport is a little elaborate. I would you prefer to read the whole purport, or would you like me to summarize and share a few important points? Whole purport? Okay. Purport. Krishna can be understood only by the process of undivided devotional service. He explicitly explains this in this verse so that unauthorized commentators who try to understand Bhagavad Gita by the speculative process will know that they are simply wasting their time. No one can understand Krishna or how he came from parents in a 400 form and at once change himself into a 200 form. These things are very difficult to understand by the study of the Vedas or by philosophical speculation. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that no one can see him or enter into understanding of these matters. Those who, however, are very experienced students of Vedic literature can learn about him from the Vedic literature in so many ways. There are so many rules and regulations, and if one at all wants to understand Krishna, he must follow the regulative principles described in the authoritative literature. For one can perform penance in accordance with those principles. For example, to undergo serious penances, one may observe fasting on Janmashtami, the day on which Krishna appeared, and on the 2 days of Ekadashi, the 11th day after the new moon and the 11th day after the full moon. As far as charity is concerned, it is plain that charity should be given to the devotees of Krishna who are engaged in his devotional service to spread the Krishna philosophy or Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Krishna consciousness is a benediction to humanity. Lord Chaitanya was appreciated by Rupa Goswami as the most munificent man of charity because love of Krishna, which is very difficult to achieve, was distributed freely by him. So if one gives some amount of his money to persons involved in distributing Krishna consciousness, that charity given to spread Krishna consciousness is the greatest charity in the world. And if one worships as prescribed in the temple, in temples in India there is always some statue, usually of Vishnu or Krishna. That is a chance to progress by offering worship and respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the beginners in devotional service to the Lord, temple worship is essential, and thus this is confirmed in the Vedic literature, Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.23. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite katita hyartha prakashante mahatmanaha. Somebody would like to continue?
One who has unflinching devotion for the Supreme Lord and is directed by the spiritual master, in whom he has similar unflinching faith, can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead by revelation. One cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation, for one who does not take personal training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. It is impossible to even begin to understand Krishna. The word tu is specifically used here to indicate that no other process can be used, can be recommended, or can be successful in understanding Krishna. The personal forms.
The personal form of Krishna, 200 form and 400 are described as Sudarshanam, Sudurdarshan. Very difficult to see. They are completely different from the temporary universal form shown to Arjuna. The 400 form of Narayana and the 200 form of Krishna are eternal and transcendental, whereas universal form exhibited to Arjuna is temporary. The word Tvad Annena na drishta purvam. Text 47 state that before Arjuna no one had seen this universal form. Also they suggest that among the devotees there were no necessity of showing it. That form was exhibited by Krishna at the request of Arjuna, so that in the future when one presents himself as incarnation of God, people can ask to see his universal form. The word now used repeatedly in the previous verse indicates that one should not be very much proud of such credentials as the academic education in Vedic literature. One must take to the devotional service of Krishna. Only then one can attempt to write commentaries on Bhagavad Gita.
You want to read, Perumal?
Krishna changes from the universal form to the four-handed form of Narayana, and then to his own natural form of two hands. This indicates that the four-handed forms and the other forms mentioned in Vedic literature are all emanations of the original two-handed Krishna. He is the origin of all emanations. Krishna is distinct even from these forms, not to speak of the impersonal conception. As far as the four-handed forms of Krishna are concerned, it is stated clearly that even the most identical four-handed form of Krishna, which is known as Mahavishnu, who is lying on the cosmic ocean and from whose breathing so many innumerable universes are passing out and entering, is also an expansion of the Supreme Lord, as stated in the Brahma Samhita.
Okay. Anybody would like to continue the English? Yeah. Can you take the?
You mean the trans?
Yeah, the next para. He will read.
यस्यैका निश्वसिता कालम अथावलंब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगत अंडनाथः विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कला विशेषो गोविंदमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि. The Mahavishnu, into whom all the innumerable universes enter and from whom they come forth again simply by his breathing process, is a plenary expansion of Krishna. Therefore I worship Govinda, Krishna, the cause of all causes. Therefore, one should conclusively worship the personal form of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has eternal bliss and knowledge. He is the source of all forms of Vishnu, he is the source of all forms of incarnation, and he is the original Supreme Personality as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita.
We'll take a pause here and just reflect back on what has been discussed thus far. So, I started today's discussion with a desire to actually just continue the theme that had been going on in the past few lectures, with the Wednesday lectures and the last Sundays. And so this, Srila Prabhupada very nicely elaborates on the commentary here to these three verses, wherein he describes about the necessity for us to conduct ourselves, right? Krishna himself is actually saying that. Prabhupada is just elaborating on that a bit. So the question is, what should we do and what should we not do, and even if we do something, what should be our state of mind in which we conduct ourselves, right? So to answer the question of what we should do, does anybody have any suggestions on what we should do and not do? Can you give it
We should chant Hare Krishna as often as possible, and as if try to get our 16 rounds done every day, and if we took that vow, and follow the 4 regulative principles, and serve the devotees, the Vaishnavas, and serve the by spreading Krishna consciousness, distributing books, and helping people understand what Krishna consciousness is.
What would you tell them? What would you tell them about Krishna consciousness?
What do we tell them about? We tell them that the important thing is to chant Hare Krishna because it cleans the heart, so they can start understanding transcendental knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Thank you. In terms of their major activities of the day, in terms of how they conduct themselves, what should be their state of mind? Should they, because in verse 53 Krishna says that I cannot be understood by reading scriptures or performing sacrifices or giving in charity or doing temple worship, right? So does that mean that we should stop doing those things because it's not going to help us in understanding Krishna? Or does that mean that we should still continue doing it in the hope that Krishna will change his mind?
We need to practice according to the instructions of the spiritual master, and by the mercy of the spiritual master, and by the mercy of Krishna, we can understand transcendental knowledge. Like the song we were singing, O.A. Vaishnav Thakur, we're asking, we're begging for the mercy and of the previous acharyas to give us their grace, because by grace, then it will take and give us the eyes that we can see and understand Krishna.
Thank you. Mataji, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Then 9th chapter, Krishna says, Yat karosh yadosh yadashnasya jovidasit tat tapas tat kurushmada. That means that charity and action, whatever you do it for only Krishna, not for material purpose.
Yes.
Then that becomes a consciousness, that Krishna consciousness.
In the purport that we just read, what does Srila Prabhupada describe as the best charity?
That is giving Krishna consciousness.
Yes. Who is the most charitable person?
Charitable or whom give?
Who gave the biggest charity in this world?
Prabhupada, Guru.
Okay. In the purport, he mentions about Lord Chaitanya, right?
Okay. Yes. I didn't see the purport of this.
Yeah, he said Lord Chaitanya because he gave Krishna consciousness freely. Rupa Goswami said that.
Okay.
Namo Mahabharanaya Krishna Prempadayate.
Yes. So there are these set of activities that we are encouraged to do. Krishna is always encouraging us to do. Studying the scriptures, serving the Vaishnavas, humbly asking them, inquiring them, menially serving them, and inquiring from them about the nature of the absolute truth. So these are things that we are supposed to do, right? We cannot just withdraw ourselves saying that these activities by themselves are not going to give me any understanding into Krishna, as he himself says, so why bother doing them, right? That is not what our perspective should be. Because all these instructions are meant for us, right? Because we are in a bound state where we are, we have so many defects like forgetfulness, cheating propensity, imperfect senses, to be illusioned, and we can't remember what we did or what we said, and we always lie about things. So given this state of affairs, how are we to redeem ourselves, right? Is there something we can do, right? So this is what Krishna is telling here in the next verse, that in verse 54, that only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, right? So what does devotional service mean then? In verse 53 he said, reading scriptures or going to the temple and doing deity worship or giving charity is not going to yield anything. But then he says, do devotional service to me, right? What does that mean? Are these not devotional service, to read scriptures or to give charity? Are they different from devotional service?
If you are doing it with Krishna consciousness,
Can you speak into the mic so that everyone can listen?
depends. Like if we are doing this charitable business and all this with Krishna consciousness mind, or if we are doing it to spread Krishna consciousness, then it is Krishna consciousness. It is not different from Krishna consciousness. But if you are doing it with some other motive in mind, then we do not consider it as Krishna consciousness.
Very good. Yes, that's precisely what is meant by in verse 53, where, for example, studying of the scriptures, Prabhupada said that studying the scripture for grammatical correctness or just cursory awareness of what the contents of the scripture is not going to yield anything, right? We should not get into that cycle of just being familiar with the scripture from the point of view of having a checklist. Yes, that I've read the scriptures and I know what it says, without actually putting it into practice, right? That's what Krishna is meaning here, that do these things as a devotional offering to me. Only then will you get the result, right? As Mataji pointed out, the verse 9.27, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So far what we have understood is that these instructions are for us, right? Because we are the doer. We are supposed to do, right? Anybody can quote a verse in support of that? We are the doers. Who are the doers?
All that we do, all that we eat, all that we offer and give away today, we do it as an offering unto Krishna. And the Prabhupada says on a lecture that I heard that bottom line, it's all about love. And so Krishna consciousness is bhakti yoga. It's the yoga of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And not to be stuck on the mental platform thinking that I can learn the verses, I can do this, I can do that. And that's not bad, but to do it with love,
Yes.
a loving exchange.
Yes. Now I was asking for if somebody could quote a shloka in support of where it says we are the doers. No, that is a misconception about our doing. But what is the right conception about our role as a performer? Yes. Can you give the mic?
Is that karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karmphal hetur bhur ma sangosto karmani.
Thank you. So there Krishna has clearly said that all you are entitled to is to act. Then the question is, what are our activities, right? And what are Krishna conscious activities? So here Krishna says that do certain activities with a mood of devotion to please me, to please Krishna is what he's saying. That don't do it as this person rightly pointed out, that don't have any ulterior motives of having any self-centered goals. Then the activity becomes not Krishna conscious, the same activity, right? So that's what we need to pause and meditate upon as to whenever we are doing something. There are certain activities which are prescribed to be done, certain activities which are prescribed not to be done. But even the activities that are prescribed to be done, they need to be done with a certain consciousness. Only then can it help us in relieving ourselves. Otherwise, even though the good activities we do, if we do it for enjoyment, then it becomes a cause of bondage, right? So that's what the verse that Trishab just quoted about karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karmaphala heturbu ma te sangostu akarmani. That do things, don't be attached to non-doing, and don't be considering yourself the cause of the result, but whereas you are only responsible for your activities, right? You can only do it, not be overly caught up in the consequences, right? So this is the consciousness that with which we have to conduct ourselves. So let's read about little further about how we should purify our consciousness in acting, in carrying out these different activities, right? So let's read verse 55. Chapter 11, text 55. So I'll say the word by word and everybody can repeat after me. Mat karma krin mat paramo mad bhaktah sangavarjitah nirvairah sarvabhuteshu yaha sa mameti pandava mat karma krin mat paramo mad bhaktah sangavarjitah nirvairah sarvabhuteshu yah samameti pandava. Anybody would like to read the Sanskrit?
Mat karma krin mat paramo mad bhakta sanga varjitah nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasa mameti pandava.
Anybody else? Mat karma krin mat paramo mad bhaktah sanga varjitah nirvairah sarva bhuteshu yah samameti pandava. The English translation.
My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me.
Anybody would like to read the purport?
Anyone who wants to approach the Supreme of all personality of Godhead on the Krishna Loka planet in the spiritual sky and be intimately connected with Supreme Personality Krishna must take this formula as stated by Supreme himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be essence of Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a book directed to the conditioned souls who are engaged in material world with the purpose of lording it over nature, and who do not know the real goal of real spiritual life. The Bhagavad Gita is meant to show how one can understand his spiritual existence and eternal relationship with the Supreme Spiritual Personality, and to teach one how to go back home, back to Godhead. Now here is the verse which clearly explains the process by which one can attain success in spiritual activity, devotional service. As far as the work is concerned, one should transfer his energy entirely to Krishna conscious activities. As stated in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, Anasaktya Vishyan Yathartam Upayunjatam Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. No work should be done by any means except in relationship to Krishna. That this is called Krishna Karma. One may be engaged in various activities, but one should not be attached to the result of his work. The result should be done only by him, for him. For example, one may be engaged in business, but transfer that activity into Krishna consciousness. One has to do business for Krishna.
So what kind of business Krishna talks about?
You spread Krishna consciousness?
Okay. But those who are not, what are the legal businesses?
It can be any business as far as it does not violate any rules and regulations.
What rules and regulations?
Like
I didn't ask for a diplomatic answer.
Later on in the
Yes.
18th chapter, he'll specify, right? Business of agriculture and trade,
Yes.
trade of food grains. And
Krishi Goraksha Vanijyam.
yeah.
Vaishyakarma Swabhavajam. Right? So these are the kind of businesses that we should understand, that we should try to make those activities Krishna conscious. So just about doing anything and thinking that it can be made into Krishna consciousness, is that a valid assumption? Then what is the concept of vikarma then? Right? There are certain do's and don'ts. Right? Mataji said in the beginning that we should follow the 4 regulative principles and chant Hare Krishna. So there are some do's and there are some don'ts, right? So we can't really do the don'ts and think of it as Krishna conscious, right? So there has to be a discerning ability within us to sense that will this help me in Krishna consciousness, or will this, block my progress on the path of Krishna consciousness? That's the question we need to ask, right? So there are certain things which help and there are certain things which don't, right? So we should make sure that we know what we are supposed to do and in what consciousness, right? So 2 parts of the puzzle are that first is the activities. We should know what are the activities, and the second thing is how to not be entangled even while doing the right kind of activity with the Krishna conscious state of mind. So charity and different kinds of tapasyas that we are urged to do are never to be given up or violated, right? We should always give and help people charitably disposed, and we should always make sure that we don't violate the observance of certain special days which are meant to make our progress faster, right? So all these things together make up what is called as the Bhagavad culture, or this way of life, right? So these do's and don'ts define what our culture is, right? To see the difference, or why there's generation gap, and why people ask, why should I do this, why should I not do this, what's the point? Because they miss the original fundamental point, right? The original fundamental point is, will this help me progress towards Krishna consciousness, right? The do's and don'ts are adjusted according to time, place and circumstances, and the acharyas, they make some arrangements for the common man to follow, right? Now we don't have any physical strength or mental capacity to undergo severe austerities and penances, which were like the minimum requirements a few centuries or 1 millennium ago, right? Now there are different rules and different circumstances, but at least we should know in principle, like what is our purview of activities, what is our responsibility, and based on the freedom of choice that we have, how should we best exercise it so that we don't misuse it, right? So let's continue. You want to continue?
As no work should be done by any man except in relationship to Krishna. This is called Krishna karma. One may be engaged in various activities, but one should not be attached to the result of his work. The result should be done only for him. For example, one may be engaged in business, but to transform that activity into Krishna consciousness, one has to do business for Krishna. If Krishna is the proprietor of the business, then Krishna should enjoy the profit of the business. If a businessman is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars, and if he has to offer all of this to Krishna, he can do it. This is work for Krishna. Instead of constructing a big building for his sense gratification, he can construct a nice temple for Krishna, and he can install the deity of Krishna and arrange for the deity's service, as is outlined in the authorized books of devotional service. This is all Krishna karma. One should not be attached to the result of his work, but the result should be offered to Krishna, and one should accept as prasadam the remnants of offerings to Krishna. If one constructs a very big building for Krishna and installs the deity of Krishna, one is not prohibited from living there, but it is understood that the proprietor of the building is Krishna. That is called Krishna consciousness. If, however, one is not able to construct a temple for Krishna, one can engage himself in cleansing the temple of Krishna. That is also Krishna karma. One can cultivate a garden. Anyone who has land, in India at least, any poor man has a certain amount of land, can utilize that for Krishna by growing flowers to offer him. One can sow tulsi plants because tulsi leaves are very important, and Krishna has recommended this in Bhagavad Gita. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Krishna desires that one offer him either a leaf or a flower or fruit or a little water. And by such an offering, he is satisfied. This leaf especially refers to the tulsi. One can sow tulsi and pour water on the plant. Thus, even the poorest man can engage in the service of Krishna. There are some of the examples of how one can engage in working for Krishna.
So, what is the standard of poverty? Should have some land. Huh? Even a poor man, especially an Indian poor man, can have some land and he can cultivate a tulsi garden. So this is how the gradual path of purification is mentioned. Is that in the beginning, it's not going to be like a turn of a switch and we change our activities, right? So we have to gradually progress towards the path of pure devotional service, and this is where Krishna is, he's explaining it in very detail here, but he'll later on in other chapters he'll expand a bit on how the different activities and actions are to be cleansed, how the different modes of material nature influence us, and how should we shield ourselves from that influence with the help of knowledge. And so here later on the purport talks about how one should depend on the exclusive devotional activities, right? So which are specifically the Navavida Bhakti, which Prabhupada writes, hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering prayers, carrying out the orders of the Lord, making friends with Him, and surrendering everything to Him. One can engage in all 9 devotional process, or 8, or 7, or at least in one, and that will surely make one perfect. So gradually, from the point of dedicating the results of our business to Krishna, to the point of engaging in these devotional activities, this is what is our responsibility to proactively think on that and to ask and consult with the acharyas, the Vaishnava teachers, and seek our path of migration so that we cleanse ourselves and get rid of the material bindings, right? So here Srila Prabhupada also quotes Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where he says, Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttamam. That our endeavor should not be mixed with any kind of desire for fruitive activities or mental speculation. So it does not mean that we are to remain ignorant. It just means that our goal is not to figure out things or to earn money, and adopting devotional service as a means to these ends, right? Devotional service, there is only one means to that, right? There's only one goal of devotional service. What is that goal? No. Thank you. Could you quote a shloka for that?
Like one shloka I can think of which is related, which is Premanjana Chorita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hrideshu Vilokayanti.
Thank you. Could you say the meaning?
The saintly people who have actually, they always see God in their heart with their eyes which are filled with love.
Thank you. So in the past we had discussed about, over the past few weeks there has been this ongoing theme about what our activities should be and who is responsible for our activities, and am I totally independent or am I totally dependent? What is my role in all these things? So I thought that we can hear from Krishna and Srila Prabhupada's purports to find answers to some of these questions. And so does that address some of your concerns you had the other day about... would you like to have any more questions? You have the mic, you want to ask something?
Actually, I asked the same question to my friend who is also following Sri Vaishnava. So he said that my thought is something like, if there is something like X is coming out of that work, it's a function of it's something like the input is something like function, and that whatever I'm doing is nothing is coming from me. It's something like Krishna is doing everything. But he said that, as you and other Prabhu said that, he said, yeah, absolutely fine, but the thing is, there is some part which you do, and 99% that Krishna will do, and you will do some part. That cannot be, you cannot neglect that part. You have some responsibility and you will do some part, but the result is something like that Krishna will decide what is that result, and we should not do a thing which I am doing or something like. We should always think that the Krishna is taking care of all the things, and we are doing in the name of Krishna.
Yes. Thank you. So, Krishna starts by saying that, we are supposed to act, right? What does he say when Arjuna said that, I just want to take a break and I don't want to get involved in this ghastly warfare, right? Then Krishna said that don't be a coward, it doesn't suit you to speak such words, right? Especially you're trying to escape your duty. And then he says, he gives him the knowledge about the spiritual identity of every living being, right? That you are not going to kill anyone because soul cannot be burnt or cut to pieces or anything, right? But then Arjuna could have said, then what's the point of fighting even, then why even try, right? Then the Lord says that you cannot even abstain from doing your work, right? Because everyone in this world has to work. But then he says about what kind of activities and how one can, even though while being involved in all these activities, can free himself. Right? 3rd and 4th chapter, 5th chapter, Krishna talks about, although being engaged in all these activities, he is not bound. And yet he conducts himself to set an example so that he can teach others about how to act and how to make some progress, right? And that's a form of charity by spreading Krishna consciousness, right? So to answer the questions about can we do something, is everything driven by Krishna, is nothing in our part, it's not so clear, like it's not like we are absolutely dependent, or it's not like we are absolutely independent also. There's only one person who is absolutely independent. Right? Who is that? Where does he say that?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Anybody want to take a chance?
There are many verses like Matta Paradharam Nanat Kinchid. Sorry, my
throat is
bad. But
yes.
Sorry. Yeah, that's the verse I said.
Matta Parataram
Nanat Kinchid Siddhananjaya.
Aham Mai
Mai
Sarvamidam
Sarvamidam
Sutre Maniganaiva.
Yeah.
Any other verse? Thank you, Prabhu.
अहम सर्वस्य प्रभो मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भाव समन्वितः.
Will you give the English translations when just not
Yes.
just the Sanskrit?
Yes.
It would be nice
Sorry
for
about that.
us people who aren't so Sanskrit oriented. Please. Especially on Sunday, please.
Sure. So the verse is 10.8. Or the verse before that would be 7.7, huh? Yes. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. This is the English for the Matta Parataram Na Anyat. And the verse that Rishabh quoted was 10.8. The page numbers would differ because I have an older version, so 10.8. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Right? So there is no doubt, even in the purports that we just read about the 400 form and the 200 original form of Krishna, Shyam Sundar, where he talks about the different activities Lord Narayan, Krishna does in the form of Lord Narayan, the process of creation and maintaining this material cosmic manifestation. So he is the original cause, but that doesn't take away the right from ourselves also. We also have a minute role to play in this part, right? So he is the common cause, like the land and the water and the manure, but then the seed has to be there for a plant to grow, right? So that will be the specific cause, right? So Krishna is providing the infrastructure, and he is enabling us to do certain activities, and he is given us a choice as to whether we do it for ourselves or to please him. So it's that choice has to be exercised, and that activity has to be performed in that thought, in that consciousness, right? So that's what we need to understand, that it's not limited to just a matter of switching that consciousness. It also has to translate into activities, right? So that's what we need to understand, that those activities still need to be done, and we have been given this body, this physical and mental strength, the senses, the working senses, the knowledge acquiring senses, all these things are given to us, right? So we need to put them to use. All we need to understand is what is the right use of these things, right? Or what is the best use of these. And this is what today's discussion was aimed at, trying to share with you all as to what is Krishna saying in terms of what we should do. Right? Mat karma krin mat parma mat bhakta sangha varjita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu ya samameti pandava. So having known these kind of truths and deliberated on these by rendering service to the Vaishnava Acharyas, we can know all these things and redeem ourselves. So this is the sum and substance of the Krishna conscious philosophy. I may not have done justice to it, but I would like to open to any questions or discussion or any further thoughts people would like to share.
I really like in verse 55 where Krishna says, "And who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me."
Yes.
How important it is to be not judgmental, but to be friendly to every living being.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes
plants,
animals.
So the environmental, we should be conscious of how we are dealing with the environment also, right?
The environment, other persons, whether they're Muslims, Hindus, Christians, Jews, it doesn't matter.
Yes. Today somebody just, I was just showing one person a book, and he said, "No, I'm not Hindu." And I said, when you get a cough or cold, and when you go to the doctor, does the doctor ask you whether you're Hindu and he gives you a different medicine if you're not Hindu? Or when you're thirsty, do you ask the question of whether you're Hindu or not before you drink water? So Bhagavad Gita is something like that. It's very fundamental to our existence, right? It's beyond the designations of Hindu or Muslim, so we should make sure that people are not, limited by this shortcoming, and they think that this is some Hindu book or this is some, not meant for people outside of India or not meant for people below the age of 65 or things like that. So yes, so here, there's an interesting thing. He says, Nirvaira, meaning not envious of anyone or not having enmity with anyone. But the word just before that is Sangha Varjita, meaning trying to protect yourself from people who are envious of Krishna, right? So, and then he immediately says nirvairaha, right? So at one point he said sangha varjita, meaning don't try to be mix and socialize with people who are not Krishna conscious. Then immediately he says, but don't be envious of them either, or don't think that you are some superior person or something, right? They are also, enjoying the fruits of their activities and past deeds, so they have a certain state of mind right now, but doesn't mean or doesn't preclude them from becoming a candidate for receiving Krishna's mercy in the future, right? So we should be careful not to, burn ourselves in that fire trying to save them, but at the same time we should think about sharing Krishna consciousness with them also, right? So it's an
there's a perfect example of that when Rupa Goswami talked about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the most magnificent because he gave Krishna consciousness freely, and then Lord Nityananda also gave it to Jagai and Madhai, even though they were such ruffians.
Yes.
He approached them. So those are good examples.
Yes. There's a small detail in that story which we need to pay attention, is that there was a first step taken by either Jagai or Madhai when he stopped the other person from hitting Lord Nityananda, right? And that's what Lord Nityananda told Mahaprabhu, that this person stopped the other person from hitting me, so therefore... Yeah, so because Jagai stopped Madhai, so that act by Jagai opened the doors for him receiving the mercy of Lord Nityananda, right? And seeing that, Madhai also became interested and said, okay, I also want to have that mercy. And then, so that's what we also need to do, is that we need to open the door for ourselves, take that initiative, make use of that free will, and then all the rest, all the help of the world will be there for us to take advantage of. But we can't really just sit on it and not do anything, right? So we need to understand that we are the doers, but we also need to understand that we are independently dependent on Krishna, right? We are independent in choosing to be dependent on Krishna, right? So neither are we completely independent, neither are we completely dependent. If we are completely dependent, then there's no question of free will. If we are completely independent, then there's a problem, right? We cannot have more than one completely independent person. There can only be one independent person, right? Otherwise there will be chaos. So then how do we fit into the equation, right? So we are independently dependent on Krishna. So we need to understand this and try to meditate on this and think about the different activities in our life where we have an opportunity to make further progress in Krishna consciousness, right? Anybody has any comments or?
Just one more verse I would like to quote from 3rd chapter, which says that Krishna is independent and he's different from all of us. I'll just read the translation. O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the 3 planetary systems. Nor am I in want of anything, nor I have a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. So he's supremely independent, but still he's engaged in prescribed duties.
Yes. Any verse where he says, I am totally distinct from all kinds of living entities?
Yeah, 9th chapter.
15.16. Anybody would like to read that?
No, after that. Dvavimau purushavloke ksharaschaksara evacha akshara sarvani bhutani kutastho akshara uchyate. There are 2 classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible.
And the next verse is where he says, I am categorically different from both of these.
Yeah. Besides these 2, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them.
Yeah. So, these verses prove beyond a doubt that, and some of the verses which Srila Prabhupada also quotes in the purport to 11.54 and 55. So we know that Krishna is the supreme independent Swatantra person, right? But we are also minutely Swatantra. We are not completely dependent and we are not completely independent also. So we cannot go to the extreme of saying everything is done by Krishna, I have nothing to do in this, and neither can we go to the other extreme and say I am the doer and I am responsible for my own activities and everyone is suffering, or because it's like they are completely responsible for their future. Right? That also is another extreme, right? So this is like a sentimental religionist on one side and a hardcore materialistic on the other side spectrum, right? So this whole society is filled with people of these two dominant views, right? And that's causing a rift, because some people are saying that what is the need for religion? It's just a tool devised by the controlling class to keep the general masses busy and keep them under control. This is the view this is what religion in general is perceived by governments today. That's why we have like so many communists and secular states which totally obviate the need for any religion. And then you have, on the other hand, you have states which are run by religious heads, like in Middle East, which is causing another set of problems, right? So what is the right balance? So we should understand, based on these 2 or 3 verses that we discussed today, as to the fine line between doing activities for our benefit as opposed to doing it for Krishna's benefit. And so this requires a lot of thought and a lot of meditation on our part. But I just wanted to open the idea to everyone so that they can go home and think about these things. And so any further questions, or we can move on to the next part of the program? Okay, no further questions, then move to the next part. Just Aarti ceremony. Or Balimadan Prabhu, you had something that's going on now, or?
I don't know. They are here.
Okay. Do you want to wait for that, or?
She sent a message, right? Let me find out.
Okay. For the Aarti to be ready?
Yeah.
So we'll just look at some more points from the purport. One of the things that has been strongly criticized or strongly prohibited from our doing is, so-called academic study of Vedic literature. Right? So, should we study Vedic literature or should we not? And if we study, what should be our perspective? Right? Can anybody who knows the Vedic literature say that they know Krishna? In line with whatever we have read so far. For those who joined just now, we discussed text 53, 54 and 55 from the chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita, the universal form. So in 17th chapter, Krishna talks about different activities in the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. 15th, 16th, 17th chapter, he talks about demoniac and godly activities. And in 18th chapter, Krishna clearly says that, sacrifice, charity, and prescribed duties are never to be given up because they purify even the great souls, right? Then, but just by sticking to that letter of the word, can we stake a claim to understanding Krishna or developing a relationship with him? So should we just not do it then if it's not going to lead to ultimate? So that's what Krishna says here. In the consciousness has to be to please him, right? So there is much need in this world for, clarifying the confusion on this academic education in Vedic literature. That's a very powerful phraseology that Srila Prabhupada has put here. Academic study of Vedic literature. What does that mean? What does academic education of Vedic literature mean? Are devotees not supposed to be academic or serious in their study of the Vedic literature? Or what makes academic study useless for Vedic literature? So if somebody says, I want to know Krishna, I want to read the book, can you tell him that no, this is academic study, there's no point in doing it? Or, right? So today there's this monthly Sankirtan festival going on, right, where we are going and giving books and urging people to read, right? But not only us, but there are so many other people who have tried to read Bhagavad Gita and comment on it. But is every commentary on the same level? No, right? So the unique factor is surrender to Krishna, right? That's what makes anything different or anything lasting, right? So that's what we need to understand, that although Krishna says that doing these things, so-called study of the scriptures or sacrifices or penances or worship, is not going to result in understanding me, but at the same time we have to do those activities in the mood of surrender and service to Krishna, right? Then he has a different terminology for such activities. He calls them devotional service, bhakti. The same activity done in a different consciousness, he calls it as mixed activity, karma and jnana, speculative knowledge and worship. But the same activity, when it done to please Krishna, Krishna immediately changes the phraseology and he says bhakti, right? So that's the shift of consciousness we need to understand and apply it in our day-to-day life and see, we can judge for ourselves as to how we are spending every minute of our day and every minute of our life. So I think they're ready for the Aarti now. Yeah. Okay. So thank you all for coming here. So we'll move to the next part of the program, which is Aarti ceremony. So everybody can take your books.
So we'll keep the books and the book stands away.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, हरि बोल मुझे कुछ थोड़ा ठंडा है, I don't know कैसे रहेगा. किव जय जय गोरा चांदे आरती को शोभा. किव जय चांदे आरती को शोभा. किव जय जय गौरा चांदे आरती को शोभा. जाह्नवी तट बने जगमन लोभा. जाह्नवी तट बने जगमन लोभा. गौरांगेर आरती को शोभा जग जन मन लोभा. गौरांगेर आरती को शोभा जग जन मन लोभा. जग जन मन लोभा. जग जन मन लोभा. गौरांगेर आरती को शोभा जग जन मन लोभा. निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल. निताय गौर हरि बोल. निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल. निताय गौर हरि बोल. हरि बोल. किव दक्षिण निताई चांद वामे गदाधर. किव दक्षिण চান্দ বামে গদাধর নিকটে অদ্বৈত শ্রেণী বাস ছত্রধর শিব বসি আছে গৌরা চান্দ রত্ন সিংহাসনে আছে রত্ন সিংহাসনে আরতি করে ন ব্রহ্মা আদি দেবগণে আরতি জীবনর হরি আদি করি কামর ধুলায় জয় মুকুন্দ বাসু ঘোষ আদি গায় শিব শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে বাজে করতাল মথুরা মৃদঙ্গ বাজে পরম রসাল মধুরা মৃদঙ্গ বাজে পরম রসাল বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে গৌরাঙ্গের আর্থিক শোভা জগ জন মন লোভা গৌরাঙ্গের আর্থিক শোভা জগ জন মন লোভা জগ জন মন লোভা হে জগ জন মন লোভা জগ জন মন লোভা अधिक शोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मिठाई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल मिठाई गौर हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल घिव बहु कोटि चंद्र जिनी बदन उज्ज्वल शिव देशे बनमाला करे झलमल शिव शिव सुख नारद प्रेमे गद गद शिव शिव सुख नारद प्रेमे गद गद भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरार संपद भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरार संपद नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमो पदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Jaya Shri Krishna. Hare Hare. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Hare. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nithai Gauranga Hey 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 Nithai Gauranga Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari Nadia Bihari Sri Gaura Hari Gaura 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 Hari Gaura 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 Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara, Nanda Kumara Madana Gopala, Nanda Kumara Madana Gopala, Madana Gopala Mohana Rupa, Madana Gopala Mohana Rupa, Mohana Rupa, Mohana Rupa. He Mohana Rupa, Madana Mohana. He Mohana Rupa, Madana Mohana. हे मोहन रूप मदन मोहन हे मदन मोहन 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 मदन मोहन जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय महाप्रभु जय महाप्रभु जय महाप्रभु जय महाप्रभु जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय श्री राधा मदन मोहन भगवान की श्रीमन महाप्रभु की श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतोभय चरणार भक्त वेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की नित्यलीला प्रविष्ट अष्टोत्तर शत श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद महाराज की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम मथुरा धाम की नवदीप मायपुर धाम की श्री श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र धाम की हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की गंगामय जमुना माई की भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की आईएसपी मंथली संकीर्तन फेस्टिवल की श्री नित्यानंद MSF Heart to Heart Connections फेस्टिवल की all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we have just quick announcement that our Damodar Panchadhari Prabhuji's mother-in-law got back, just heard the news, sad news that she just passed away today. So in honor of her, we just dedicate this Narsingha prayer. So please pray for her departed soul. Damodar Bansi Bihari Jiva Chandani, who is not here today, so his mother-in-law. Padma Mata. Hare Krishna. So, and following with that, after nursing prayer, the DD will be open. We'll have a grand ceremony of Nehamat. Okay. So please come in the front after the nursing prayer. Please have. So that will take around 10 minutes, and then after that we'll head for prasadam.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Ladadaine. Prahlada Ladadaine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Silatankanakalaye. Silatankanakalaye. Ito Narsingho Parato Narsimho. Ito Narsingho Parato Narsimho. Yato yato yamitato Narsimho. Yato yato yamitato Narsimho. Bahe Narsingho Hridaye Narsingho. Bahe Narsingho Hridaye Narsingho. Bahe Narasinghamadhim Sharanam Prapadye. Narasimhamadhim Sharanam Prapadye. Tava Kara Kamala Varenaka Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipur Dano Bringa Keshavadrita Dharani Rupa Jai Jagadita Hare. Jai Jagadita Hare. Jai Jagadita Hare. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadita Hare. Jai Jagadita Hare. Jai Jagadita Hare. Keshavadrita जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय भक्त प्रहलाद प्रहलाद महाराज भक्त प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्री विघ्न विनाशक लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, गौर भक्त वृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Hare Krishna. So just we wanted to wrap it up in 10-15 minutes. So if you can move kids a little bit here. This door, this is the, if you can sit here, no problem. Yeah, that will be much better. Balram, please move back. Yeah, I need that. Hare Krishna. So we'll have a grain ceremony for Gauranga. He's son of Neha, Vashish Neha Thakur and Vikas Prabhu. Can you come out to the front, Prabhuji, with your kids? So please give a little bit room for them. So 2 weeks ago we had a grand ceremony for our Krishna Purushottam Prabhuji's son Ramanuja. Did you attend, anyone? Yeah, it was fun. So Vaisasika Prabhu is not there, so we'll follow the tradition here, and we will chant the Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, 20 sloka. I hope everybody has Bhagavad Gita, otherwise you share each other. Yeah, what is the book? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate, you can sit. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Throw back. Just look to the front. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chapter 15. So we'll recite together only the Sanskrit part. So which is in page 629. So we'll recite together. Prabhuji, can you sit little this side, face towards, yeah. Okay. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. All together. Urdhamulam adashakham asatham prahurabhayam chandamsi yassa paranani yastam veda sa veda vitha. Pravala adhasya mulani anusantatani karmanubandhini manusya lokhe narupamasya tatho phalabhyate nanto nachadi nacha sampratistha asatham enam suviruddha moolam asanga sastrena tidhena chitva tata padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gathana nivartati bhuya तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यथा प्रवृत्ति प्रसृता पुराणी निर्माण मोह नित्य संग दोषा अध्यात्म नित्या विनिव्रता कामः द्वैंदेर विमुक्त सुख दुख समझै गच्छन्ति मूढ़ा पदम सभयं तत् भास्यति सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यत् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम ममे वंशो जीवलोके जीवभूता सनातनः मनसस्थानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यदवप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रमतीश्वरः गृहीवैथानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धं वासयात् स्त्रं चक्षुषा स्पर्शं च रसनं घ्राणनम् एव च अधिष्ठाय मनसा छायं विषयान् पसेवते उत्तमन्तं सितं वापु भुञ्जनां सगुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषा यतन्त योगिनाश चैनं पश्यन्ति आत्मान्यवस्थितं यतन्तोऽपि यत्कृत्मानं नैनं पश्यन्ति अचेतास यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयतेऽखिलं यच्चन्द्रमासि यशग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम् गामाविश्य च भूतानि धरायामि अहम् ओजसा उष्णामि चौषधी सर्वा समो भूत्वा सात्मकः अहम् अस्मि नरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रिता प्राणपान समायुक्तं पचामि अन्नं चतुर्विधम् सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदेश च सर्वैरहम् एव वेद्यो वेदान्तक्रीड वेदाभिदेव चाहम् द्वयम पुरुषाओ लोके क्षरश्चक्षार एव च क्षर सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थक्षर उच्यते उत्तमा पुरुषस्तन्या परमात्मेति उदारित ये लोकत्रयं विश्य विभातव्य ईश्वर यस्माक्षरम् अतीतोऽहम् अक्षराद्वापि चोत्तमः अतस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः ये मामसमूढो जानति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावनी भारत गुह्यत्मं शस्त्रम् इदम् उक्तं मया नघ एताद्बुद्धा बुद्धिमानस्य कृताकृत्यस्य भारत ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भागवतगीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्या योग शास्त्रे श्री कृष्ण अर्जुन संवाद कृष्णोत्तम योग नामे पंचदशाध्याय हरि ओम. Can you move the camera to the kids? Om Narayana. So maybe you need to move little bit back so that the kids can have chance to come in. How old Roji is? Just 5. So I don't think much strength to push forward. So we can you give that the cushion? Mataji cushion, can you push for? Yeah. Okay, just a minute. Okay. Okay. I don't know how it will work, but what we do is we have two categories here. One is wealth, and land is there everywhere. And Srimad Bhagavatam is there, books is there. So basically, the symptoms had been determined at the time of birth. So like Jata Karma, then we have this one ceremony. So we'll offer one flower garland to Gauranga Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So you can take the garland out because he may be uncomfortable. And then as he is 5 months old, not 5 years, 5 months old, so he may not be crawling that much, but I will still request, we'll try how far he can go, and basically whichever he touches first, that's the one we'll see the hit symptom, whether he will be a businessman giving to our $1 million program, or join a book distribution party. So both are welcome. So please move little bit back. So does he crawl? Not much. So how do you do then? You just touch something then. Huh? Okay, so he doesn't sit also, right? Thoda bahut. So why not you put him, I put it here, and just keep it on the center, and let's see which, बीच में रखो उसको. No, उसको लिटा दो उल्टा, like this. Okay, go up, थोड़ा back जाइए. Be careful. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Gauranga Prabhu, look at this side. Hare Krishna, maybe you can direct from that side, little bit. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is on the top. So let's see which one you want to select here. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, this side. He doesn't know, he is basically Vairagya. Take something. Haribo. He is offering obeisances to Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's see. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Haribo. No problem. He offered obeisances to Srimad Bhagavatam. Gauranga Prabhu ke. Yeah. Come on, we have something for you. Good one. Okay. Okay. He's all right? Yeah. Mataji, why not you come? Grandma, you can feed first. Kanka Mataji. So yeah, we have our senior most disciple, Prabhupada disciple, why not she feeds to the auspicious one. Kanka Mataji, please. Please give a big hand to Kanka Mataji. Haribo. Hare Krishna. Wow. He's quiet now. Okay, Hare Krishna. Give a ghanti. Okay, he's all right. Okay. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah. Haribo! Wow, he's enjoying the sweet. Haribo! One more? Yeah, why not? Okay, no, nobody is. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Mataji, you want to come now? Yeah. You can take this out. Yeah, Hari Bol. Give it to me. Upar put. Okay. Aajo Gurang. Last one then. Very good boy. You can feed Mataji if you like. Hare Krishna. You can feed and then. Both can feed together. थोड़ा खिला दो. Yeah, take. Okay. Hare Krishna. So the grand ceremony is over now, and then we'll have the announcement, and then we'll go for prasadam. Thank you very much. Hari Bol. Gaurang Prabhu ki. So if anybody has any plans for grand ceremony, ISKCON Silicon Valley conducts that. Please tell your friends, family to get the first Mahaprasadam from Radha Madan Mohan. Hari Bol.
Okay. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ji ki jai. Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Shri Lakshmi Narasimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. We welcome everyone to ISKCON of Silicon Valley on this President's Day weekend. It's good to see a large turnout in spite of the long weekend holiday. I hope you all like the program. Congregational chanting of the holy names of Lord Hari is the prescribed process for making spiritual advancement in this age of Kali. And this center here is dedicated for this purpose. We give everybody a chance to come together and chant the holy names of Lord Krishna. As you can tell from the chanting and the dancing, it's a very blissful process, right? You don't need to sit hours and hours for meditation or do some complicated process. Just by coming together Can the kids be quiet, please, for some time? Just for a few minutes. Just by coming together with a pure heart, by chanting the holy names of the Lord in front of the deities, without even noticing, you make spiritual advancement. You may not notice it tonight, but a few years later, you will see that you are a different person than you were a few years ago. It's a very easy and sublime process. So we invite everybody to come here as often as they can. We have 3 programs every week. On Sundays, we have a feast like today. On Wednesday nights, we have a Gita class starting at 6 o'clock. And on Saturday mornings, starting at 7:30, we have a Srimad Bhagavatam program. So if you have any questions, please do let us know. And we'd like to welcome our newcomers, those who are coming to the temple for the first time. If you're here for the first time, maybe you can just raise your hand. Anybody here for the first time? Okay. We'll pass is there on a second microphone? Oh, you can take this one.
My name is Harivardhan. I'm from Hyderabad, and I was a volunteer member of ISKCON in Visakhapatnam for 6 months. So, and other than that, even my maternal grandfather, he is also a spiritual guru. He has 3 ashrams of his own, and my first guru is my maternal grandfather, and I have been, reveling in Krishna Bhakti since my childhood. So I'm happy to be here again.
Wonderful. Have you moved here?
Yes, I have come for my master's in San Jose State University.
San Jose State, okay. So you're not too far from here, and we also have other students at San Jose State who come here, so you can team up and come with them regularly here. There's a few books for you. Okay, who else is here for the first time? Okay, Mataji at the back. Okay, you can.
My name is Indu Chabda, and I came with my friend here.
Who's your friend?
Yeah, her name is Rucha Sharma.
Rucha Sharma.
She's regular here, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes. Next.
My name is Subramanian Nagarajan. We live in Cupertino.
Kids.
We actually got to know about this place today when they had. Yes, it's from Lavanya.
From Lavanya Mataji?
Yeah,
okay. On book distribution today for MSF. Very nice.
Yeah, during the book distribution process.
Okay.
Yeah, I've visited other temples here, and this is the first time I'm coming to this. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Anyone else for the first time? Okay, if not, we'd like to thank all our devotees for being here tonight. For the newcomers, there'll be a sign-up sheet where you can give us your contact email, phone number, and your name, address, so that we'll stay in touch with you in future. Yeah, and there's an iPad on the wall too, so you can just register by few clicks. So you could also do that. So tonight's lecture on the Bhagavad Gita was brought to us by Hari Guru Prabhu. So we'd like to give him a big Hari Bol for that. Many of you were not here during the lecture, so the lectures are recorded online. So if you'd like to have a look, please feel free to do so. If you go on our website, from there you can access all the recordings, past recordings. It was a very nice lecture. He covered 3 verses from the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, basically differentiating work with a fruitive mentality and work in devotion, and which one Krishna prescribes and how he asks us to do that. So it's a very enlightening lecture, and there's a lot of nice interaction too. So we'd like to thank him again. We'll also like to thank Balimadan Prabhu for tonight's Kirtan. You can tell he has a bad throat, but still he was like in full mood and jumping up and down, and also causing everybody else to jump up and down. So thank you very much. We'd like to thank Hari Sankirtan Prabhu for the Narsingh Dev prayers. And we'd like to thank our special guests here tonight, little Gauranga Prabhu, for being here and accepting grains for the first time as prasadam from Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. Hari Bol. The spot for the sponsor tonight is blank. So officially, so far we do not have a sponsor. So if anybody would like to come forward and pledge $301 for tonight's feast, please do let us know. The sponsorship is what keeps the Sunday feast going for all of you. So if you'd like to help out, please do let us know. Okay, I understand there's a small announcement from Hansapriya Mataji. Okay.
So as we understand that this coming Saturday is Lord Nityananda's appearance day, and Hansapriya Mataji has given the program details as follows. So 7 a.m. there will be greeting of the deities, 7:15 Srila Prabhupada's Guru Puja, 8 a.m. Brahma Samhita recitation, 9 a.m. Bhagavatam class, 10:30 will be glories of Lord Nityananda by His Grace Akrunath Prabhu, and 12 o'clock will be prasadam. And this is a morning program, so please remember that it's a morning program, and devotees are requested to park their cars outside the business area since it's Saturday. So the surrounding shops will be open. So park outside the business area and across the street. And also we need help for the prep work on Friday evening and Saturday morning to prepare the festival, and need help after the festival for cleaning up. So whoever wants to help out can contact Hansapriya Mataji or myself or Hari Sankirtan Prabhu.
Okay,
thank you.
So that was the schedule for next Saturday, February 23rd. We are celebrating the appearance day of Nityananda Prabhu, close associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and both of them together started the Harinam Sankirtan program, and they made the plan to distribute this all around the world, the benefit of which we are receiving here today. Now, who could imagine in America a group of devotees would get together and sing Hare Krishna at the top of their voices and dance ecstatically. So that's the benefit we are receiving. And to hear more about the glories of Lord Nityananda, we invite you to next Saturday's program, starting at 7 o'clock. We also have a monthly Sankirtan festival going on in honor of Lord Nityananda, the results of which we'll offer next Saturday. And one of our Sankirtan leaders is here, Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu. He'll give us a brief update, quick update on what's going on for Sankirtan.
We need to sell a set, so it's not a brief.
Oh, it's not a brief, okay.
Hare Krishna.
You can make it brief.
So, last Saturday or Friday we have a Harinam Sankirtan at Palo Alto downtown. We had a good Balimardhan Prabhu sang ecstatic Sankirtan in Palo Alto, and let's hear for Balimardhan. Hari Bol! And Saturday, Sunday we went on book distribution. Lavanya Mataji came, Kameshwari Mataji, Shailesh Prabhu, Balimardhan Prabhu, and Hari Guru Prabhu also came today, and the kids of ISV, Bal Mukunda Prabhu, Dikshit Prabhu. So, and okay, so what I have is today this Bhagavad Gita's Prabhu, can you, and Shivakumar Prabhu is first time for the book distribution today. Let's Hari Bol for Shivakumar Prabhu. Hari Bol. This is a Telugu Bhagavad Gita, and I have Hindi also. So first time in ISV we shipped it like this. We shipped it many times, but this time we went to San Francisco and we fill up the documents. I went to Oakland. After that I went to warehouse. So there are too many things, like BBT usually ships, but this time we spent more than 5 days to get to ISV. So it's a lot of work to get these books, because the language books are very special, and those we want to give it to the all Bay Area devotees. And also we got a Srimad Bhagavatam sets, because these Bhagavatam sets are Amala Puranam, like those who read Bhagavatam every day, so they'll get eternal benefit. Prabhu, can you take? So I got only 7 sets and 5 sets already gone. So there are only 2 sets available. So this is a beautiful, and kids can also hold these books in hand. I think if anybody attended last seminar from Radhika Raman Prabhu, they can see like every day morning when you recite Bhagavatam at home, it makes lot of vibration. And this also we have a Chaitanya Charitamrita sets that is here. Shri Kumar Prabhu is holding. So this Chaitanya Charitamrita you can read about Lord Nityananda. It's upcoming weekend. We have a festival. And yesterday 2 devotees took, and today Shri Kumar Prabhu took 1 set. So we have only 2 sets available. It's just $99. And it's so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in golden form, right? So his books are also in golden color. So anybody can come and take and read the books, and we have Bhagavatam sets for $199 and Telugu Bhagavad Gita just for $10. And we have Hindi also. Can you show? Yeah, Hindi Bhagavad Gita. So anybody interested, this is the last day for the MSF, and we have only 5 days, and Saturday is the offering. And our leaders are in Mayapur, Vaisheshika Prabhu, and he want to hear how we are doing Sankirtan. So please come forward and take these books. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If anybody want to take now itself, we have Bhagavatam sets. You can raise a hand if you want to buy.
Those who do not have a Bhagavatam set at home, Bhagavatam has been described as the literary incarnation of God. In the age of Kali, after the departure of Lord Krishna at the end of Dwapar Yuga, the sages assembled at Naimisharanya forest, and they planned to perform 1,000-year sacrifice. And in that, at the beginning of that sacrifice, they invited Sri Suta Goswami and asked him to speak about what is the most beneficial thing for people in general in the age of Kali. And they put in front of him several questions, in response to which Sri Suta Goswami narrated the Srimad Bhagavatam for the second time. And the first time it was narrated by Sri Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, who was about to die in 7 days. So this Bhagavatam has been described as the literary incarnation of God, and this is where all the religious principles have taken shelter after the departure of Lord Krishna. So this entire set of Bhagavatam is non-different from Lord Krishna himself. Just having the books in your house is as good as having Lord Krishna in your house. And what to speak if you come in touch with him every day by reading at least 1 shloka every day. So this is and Mahaprabhu has told us that submissive hearing of the Srimad Bhagavatam is very potent and very powerful. And in this Kali Yuga, he has prescribed this formula that submissively hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotees. The Bhagavatam has been translated and elaborated upon very nicely by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, a pure devotee of the Lord. So if you hear Bhagavatam from him every day through these books, this will give you the prime, the most beneficial thing in your life. So
we have
especially if you do not have the Bhagavatam set, we request you to come forward and and pledge for 1 set.
Yeah. Thank you, Vrindavan Prabhu. This is like Vaisheshika Prabhu also made a chart. Like if you read 8 pages per day, you can finish into 5 years. If you read 25 pages per day, you can finish in 2.5 years. So last year I gave it to Avijit Prabhu, and he already completed 4 cantos. He's reading every day 25 pages. That's here, Prabhu. So this is so inspirational. So he's my inspiration. So please take it and read it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. We'd like to acknowledge the cooks for tonight. Can somebody pass on the information about the cooks from the kitchen? Huh? Ananda Mataji and Sundari Leela Mataji. They and Balimardan Prabhu. So let's hear for the cooks once who have cooked a wonderful feast for us. Okay, any other announcements, or is anybody celebrating a birthday or a wedding anniversary? Or
jump in first, like to thank Vikas Prabhu. He was motivated to sponsor the feast today. Please give him again. Hare Krishna. So I think this is a beautiful Krishna painting. He wants to take this before announcement? Very good. Fantastic. So it's one of our devotee, Sarita Mataji has painted this one. Can you see? So beautiful, right? Kids, now silence.
Let me hold it.
Yeah, hold it. So whatever the donation auction money comes, because we are supposed to put in our ISKCON, Silicon Valley has also an auction site, but somehow the devotee is out of town. So here, minimum $51 I start with. All the money will go to Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. I know it's becoming too late. I don't want to hold. So anybody is impatient, is too much hungry, can raise your hand and say, I give. Then we go for that. Doesn't matter if you are really like about it. You can take this and keep in your altar, keep in your puja room or anywhere else. This is really beautiful one. So we'll start with $51. Is anybody interested to take this one? This money will go to Radha Madan Mohan, not to the painter. Anybody is like to volunteer to take this? $51 we are starting. $51.
51 or higher?
Or lower also?
No lower.
No lower, okay, higher.
Higher. 51, 1.
51, 10 we will count. Hari Guru Prabhu ki 51. How much you wanted to give? 51, then
151. Hari Guru Prabhu 151.
Hari Guru Prabhu 151. It is amazing things. You will not get. 2 months it took to really paint. 151 from Hari Guru. I will chant Krishna 10, Krishna 9, Krishna 8, Krishna 7, Krishna 6, Krishna 5, Krishna 4. Just to remind, Hari Guru Prabhuji said 151, so you can pay at least 152 to win this deal. Krishna 4, Krishna 3, Krishna 2, Krishna 1, Krishna 0. Hari Guru Prabhu, you are the lucky winner. Please give it. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so today actually we have a birthday. It's Sri Kumar Prabhu's birthday. Where is he? He left? Okay, so we have a tradition of singing for those who are celebrating birthdays or wedding anniversaries. So we'll just wait 1 minute for him to come back. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. There he is. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we'll all sing together for Sri Kumar Prabhu. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Sri Kumar Prabhu. Hare Krishna to you. Microphone for him. Short speech.
Thanks everyone. Thank you everyone. First of all, I want to thank everyone for making me part of this ISV family. I really, we receive so much being in this ISV family. So with deepest gratitude to everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your association. Is there a special cake or something today? No? Okay. Okay, so we'll... we need cleaning volunteers. So it's getting late, but if you'd like to help us with helping clean the temple after the program, there's one. And we need at least 3 more volunteers. So just make up your mind while having prasadam. If you'd like to help us, you can do so. Okay, we'll all
We'll do the quick, the short version of the Prasadam prayers. Mahaprasade Govinde. Namo Brahmani Vaishnave. Svalpa Punyavatam Rajan. Vishwaso Naiva Jayate. Sharira Avidyajal. Jadendriya Tahekal. जीवे पहले विषया सागरे तार मध्ये जिभायति लोभो मोय सुदुर्मति ताकि जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बाड़ा दया मोय कोरी बारे जिभा जाय स्वप्रसादन दिलो भाई सही अन्नामृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे डाको चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे भगवत श्री महाप्रसादम की जय. Please come and take prasad. Prasad is being served outside and you can come back in, have a seat in the picnic area. Thank you.